Dear viewers, welcome to another panel of our Share the Passion XXL 3-day live stream campaign. Today, with me on the Norma panel is Jonas Hellentin. Jonas, thank you for your time. Thank you for being here.
Thank you, Moritz.
You're in charge of the brand Norma in terms of marketing. Tell me, please, how do you like the show so far?
I think the show is great. The first day is always, a lot of good energy and a lot of people.
Yes, sir.
I'm quite surprised. It's been a really good day.
It has been some challenging 2 years, and I believe the industry is back. The energy is good. People are on fire. I made a habit as the show runs on to Share the Passion, where we find the individual passion of the people in the industry. So I made a habit of asking, what's your passion? So would you allow me the question, what is your passion, Jonas?
Well, to be honest, Moritz,
yes,
my
sir.
passion is, to be honest, not to be here. I'd rather be outside, especially on a great day like this.
Yes.
But obviously, being here, being able to talk with people, talk as much as I want to about ammunition, that kind of stuff that you can't really do at home. So, this is part of my passion. But otherwise, the outdoors is, my real passion.
So this is the second best part of the passion, with the first part actually being out there hunting, right?
Yeah.
For those people who do not know about Norma,
Yeah.
about this very traditional, innovative brand, please give me some cues. What is Norma all about?
Well, Norma is made in Sweden. We are not made 100% made in Sweden today, but our heritage is more than 100 years old.
Yes, sir.
And that really is something that we emphasize. We were born 1902, so it's a pretty old company, even for this industry.
Yes, sir.
And yeah, in short.
When we talked earlier, you mentioned that you guys somehow feel like the microbrewery of the industry. What do you guys mean by that?
I'm glad you picked that one up, because obviously a lot of people are proud, saying that how big we are, etc. But when I come up to the factory in Norrmalmsfors, I always like the sort of the familiarity, the smallness of things. It's a lot of craftsmanship, to be honest. The people who's been up there has been working in the factory for a very long time.
Yes, sir.
We do focus on quality, premium quality on things. And, as a microbrewery, that is what it's all about.
You mentioned the factory, and we've prepared a short movie to actually give our viewers also an insight of the famous Norma factory, which we are going to show you right now.
Welcome to the Norma factory of Åmotfors, Sweden. In 1902, the ENG brothers were on the lookout for a place to produce ammunition. They got off the train at the small village of Åmotfors in Sweden and decided this was it. Since then, hunting and shooting have been deeply rooted in our town. Most of Norma's innovations during our 120-year history have taken place in close collaboration with legendary hunters and shooters and influential pioneers in the ammunition industry. The manufacturing principle of a cartridge has more or less stayed the same over time, but the seemingly simple product is a wonder of complexity. A Norma cartridge is essentially made up of 4 parts: the bullet, the case, gunpowder, primer, and 120 years of manufacturing experience. Norma cases have long been a household name for reloaders around the world. Through the years, Norma has come up with a design that gives great consistency in performance. The cases are made of high-quality brass, developed exclusively for Norma's purposes. The final product needs to be hard enough to withstand high pressure and heavy loads, but flexible enough to withdraw to its original form every time it is being fired. This enables many reloads, and Norma has taken pride in the fact that you can expect more reloads from a Norma case than those that are generally produced. Today, as a global company, Norma manufactures cases all around the world for a wide variety of purposes. However, only cases where the head stamp looks like this, with Norma written in lowercase letters and no marks on the sides, that we guarantee premium quality and maximum reloadability. We are proud to say that we not only manufacture our own bullets, but we also invent our own designs and develop them in-house from idea to final product. At the Norma factory in Åmotfors, we mainly manufacture 5 types of bullets: full metal jackets, soft points, tipped, monolithic, lead-free, match and bonded bullets. They are made from scratch and are either sold as individual components or loaded into our hunting or shooting products. One of the most important parts in the manufacturing process is the testing of our products. We continuously test all components that a cartridge is made up of, and we set our tolerances to a minimum. In the past, this was made manually with a sharp eye and quick fingers. But today many controls are done with laser-guided technology, which speeds up testing and eliminates deviations in production. Still, we keep a lot of our manual controls in the factory because nothing can replace human experience and attention to detail. We fire hundreds of thousands of shots and wear out hundreds of rifle barrels every year. When you choose Norma, you choose products that have been refined through knowledge, care, and dedication for over a century. Now, it's up to you. Norma, dedicated since 1902.
What a factory. Congratulations.
Well, thank you.
Jonas, I want to give the viewer a small, short portfolio overview of the Norma universe. Please go ahead. What do you guys have to offer?
Well, first of all, I mean, we come from the hunting part. I would, emphasize that part. But the modern hunter-shooter today expects to find us in all sorts of categories, all sorts of applications. So we added a couple of years ago, rimfire, shot shells, pistol and revolver, etc., even air gun.
Even air gun.
Even air gun.
Almost everything, so.
Exactly. So we have everything for the retailer and for the end consumer in all sorts of applications. That's what they expect today. Yeah?
We were talking earlier about how Norma is somehow focusing on the modern hunter. I was wondering, who is the modern hunter?
Good question. If I knew that. But
the secret sauce.
Yeah, exactly. But the modern hunter today, I think, goes more towards the more specific. I mean, they want to test, push the limits. They shoot on longer ranges, for example. They want more aggressive bullets. They want lead-free. They want, all sorts of things where you push the boundaries of what the ammunition can, pushing themselves also in their own applications. That's where they're going. On the other hand, there's a big majority out there who still favors or likes what we are come from, which is the all-round applications.
So all-around meeting also the needs of the highly, highly skilled and specified pro hunter who is very educated and who knows exactly what he wants. I was wondering if you could also give me a look at, are there trends in the industry? What are we talking about here?
I would say that is one of the big trends, being more specific, more specified. The specialty things. People are now competing on ranges which is far out, from where they shot 10 years ago.
It's incredible.
Exactly, and for that reason, they also transition into, for example, hunting. They start hunting on long ranges also, obviously. So that's a little bit where the industry is going, at least in terms of products.
So that would be the perfect time to mention one of your all-time famous bullets, the Norma Bondstrike. Please, what is the Norma Bondstrike all about?
Well, the Norma Bondstrike actually, it started as a long-range bullet, long-range projectile. However, the way we developed it, it came with the bonding technology that actually makes it work on a short range also. And that is usually the problem with long-range bullets today.
So you're saying the problem with long-range bullets is the short range.
Exactly.
Exactly. So please give me a rundown on the features. What makes it so great?
Yeah. So let's see where we have it.
Yes, sir.
So it's a bullet. It's a bullet where we developed with a good ballistic properties. Obviously, it has a great BC. It actually has a market-leading BC on some of the calibers that we have. A boat tail, tipped, and a very thin jacket on top of it. The thing with the thin jacket is that it starts expanding even at low velocities, which is further down range. But with the bonding technology, we can make the jacket thinner, and so it sticks together also when hitting at high velocities, which is shorter ranges. And as you can see, the difference, what happens with, I don't know if the camera sees it, this is the Bondstrike on a very standard range, below 100 meters.
Okay.
A competitor product, with no bonding, but flies really far, doesn't have any retained weight left, because obviously you have to make the bullet constructed in a very aggressive pattern, opening very quickly, etc., etc. So, expanding very quickly.
Yes, sir.
And high velocities, expanding very quickly and high velocities, but keeping the retained weight.
Speaking of retained weight,
yeah.
Speaking of retained weight, I actually heard that you guys are best in class in weight retention.
We like to think so.
So I was wondering if we talked about it now, so this is the bullet that is the all-around answer for someone who aims to achieve long-range hunting, but does not have to, well, basically stop at the short range.
Exactly, because you never know exactly where the game comes out, right?
So now that we've been talking about a very, very famous bullet, we are going to switch over to another very famous bullet, which is the Oryx. What is the Oryx all about?
It is the classic all-round bullet. It comes with the same bonding technology, which we invented a lot early. It's actually been there since '85.
Okay.
So when talking about standard ranges, this is the bullet which is, best in class, I would say.
It's also your most sold bullet,
exactly.
I believe, right?
In 308 at 100 meters, you have almost 99% weight retention.
Which is
It
awesome.
keeps everything inside of it. And just to explain the whole thing, same thing here. At 100 meters, the velocity is still very high. So if you have an unbonded bullet, an unbonded soft point, it will definitely lose a lot of the lead core. But the Oryx retains it. You have all the energy delivered inside the animal. It's a very effective kill.
How do you guys achieve that? We have a very thin jacket, but what else?
It's a thin jacket, but it all comes down to the way we actually bond.
That's a secret sauce. That's a Coca-Cola recipe.
Yeah, exactly. So it's actually gluing technology, I would say, and it comes down also to the purity of the lead. That's all I can say.
That's
without
all.
losing my job.
And I need you to keep your job because we have a lot more to go about in this panel. I was wondering, what is next up for the Oryx? What is the next evolution?
It's actually now a couple of years old, but still an evolution, I think. So what happens with barrels today is that these products, when we release it from the factory, we need to have it compliant to this so-called CIP standard, which means that it is being shot and tested in a 60 centimeter barrel.
Yes, sir.
Now,
barrels are getting shorter.
I know. Barrels are getting shorter, and people are even cutting their own barrels just to mount a silencer or just get lighter weapon, etc.
Mobility.
What happens, what people don't really understand sometimes, is that you lose velocity. And you even lose a lot of velocity. So we need to compensate for that. So we developed the silencer series. This comes in these gray cases, but it's actually the same bullets that we have. We started with the Oryx, and we increased the velocity. We also fixed, we optimized the load so that the muscle flash, muscle pressure, etc., stays the same as in a longer barrel.
Awesome. And for this especially, we also have prepared something. It is a video of your Norma Academy, and we are going to show you what this is about right now.
As silencers have grown in popularity, the growing trend among the hunters is shortened barrels, to give the hunting rifle as short a total length as possible. But what really happens to the performance of your ammo when you shorten a rifle barrel? We at the Norma factory have done extensive research on the subject and step by step shortened the barrel to map the actual effect. What people usually don't know is that your bullet speed drops by about 2.5 meters per second for every centimeter of the barrel you shorten, which also results in a drastically declining impact energy and a change of point of impact. Each barrel is unique, and you can experience even smaller but also more extreme cases of variation when shortening the barrel's length. But a certain negative effect is given no matter which weapon or standard ammunition you choose to hunt with. Another problem when shortening your standard barrel, you also have an increased muzzle pressure and an enlarged muzzle flash, because the gunpowder, optimized for the longer barrel, will not have a chance to burn out, which will wear out your silencer over time. To meet this growing trend of shorter barrels, Norma has chosen to develop a new series of hunting cartridges. Let us introduce Norma Silencer Series. A brand new range of hunting cartridges optimized for the short-barreled rifles with mounted silencers. The new cartridges are loaded with premium powder, optimized for performance in shorter barrels, which results in a higher velocity and a better precision at the target. Shown in these examples, you will see, when we compare the performance between the classic Oryx in a standard barrel of 60 cm, which is the standard CIP length, and a short barrel of 50 cm. Then compared to Oryx Silencer, which shows that you have a better effect in a short barrel, almost the same as in the standard length barrel. Here we show examples of how point of impact differs at 100 meters between Oryx in standard and short barrel, where the Silencer series performs like the classic one in a standard barrel. We also show the visual difference, what happens when you shoot standard ammunition in a shorter barrel when it comes to muzzle flash. The Silencer series will be produced in a selection of bullets and calibers. First up is Oryx. Oryx Silencer means good accuracy, massive mushrooming and high residual weight. This bounded design suits the all-round hunter who wishes to simplify the choice of cartridge for hunting. Thanks to its excellent performance, Oryx has become the most popular of the Norma bullets and are now ready to meet an even larger crowd of hunters with its new style and charge. So whatever you hunt, small or big game, do your silencer a favor by choosing the new Silencer series.
Now it's up to you. Norma, dedicated since 1902.
What a cool video from the Norma Academy, and I want to talk about the Norma Academy later on, but I was wondering, is there, when we talk about achieving high-speed velocity when it counts, is there any other field of application that seems to be necessary?
Yes, sir, there is.
Yes.
One important thing that is happening in the industry, obviously, is the lead-free that is coming.
True.
And which, you know, the industry or the market requires us to start shooting monolithic bullets. Now, monolithic is highly different from lead, as you know.
Yes, sir.
Lead is a very forgiving material. It's a soft material that expands well, etc., etc. Monolithic materials needs to mechanically open up, which obviously requires velocity.
So that is a whole different deal.
Exactly. So, with that said, going into the world of monolithic projectiles, you need to take care of velocity and you need to take care of the ballistic properties, right?
Yes, sir.
Because you need to have high velocity when it leaves the barrel, and you need to contain the velocity, high velocity, downrange, right? So now when talking then about silencer series, where we increase the velocity of the bullet, there you have it. So actually our lead-free Oryx, as we used to talk about, is actually the perfect product for a silencer series product.
So when we talk about lead-free, we're basically, well, we were coming from shorter barrels, which is basically a chosen trend of the industry, to, well, lead-free ammunition, which is in some parts of the world basically a forced trend upon the industry.
Yes.
So people might be in need of the Oryx because they want the perfect bullet, but they need the lead-free version of it. And there, of course, you guys have a solution.
Of course.
What are we talking about?
No, but honestly, a couple of years ago, we understood that this trend is really coming, right?
You anticipated it?
We knew that it was coming, and we also knew that our one of our biggest selling products is the Oryx. So we needed a lead-free Oryx. We didn't call it lead-free Oryx, we called it EcoStrike in the end.
EcoStrike.
But we tried to duplicate the so-called expansion window of the Oryx into the EcoStrike.
So I believe the biggest question out there will be, well, what can you hunt with it?
Yes, you can. I hope.
But what can you?
If you hit it.
If you hit the game. No, but what I was trying to point out is specifically, what type of game can you hunt with it, right?
So that is obviously because people need to rely on it. When they switch to something completely different, you've been hunting with a certain product for years. That's why we also benchmarked it towards the Oryx. So EcoStrike comes in a variety of calibers, quite broad from the start. It expands really well on standard ranges, which we are talking about 50 to at least 200.
Yes, sir.
That's where you can still be very sure. And you hunt the same things. If you 30 cal, you hunt the same thing as you hunt with the 30 cal in the lead-free, okay? What one has to be aware of when it comes to lead-free, though, is that as you extend the ranges a little bit further, beyond 300 meters, you need to be a little bit more careful, because obviously you need velocity in order to make the bullet work as it should. But other than that, we want to see the EcoStrike being exchanged for the Oryx.
So for those people who are looking for the perfect bullet but are forced upon a lead-free alternative, right? There is this solution that you guys came up with.
You switch one-on-one.
I was wondering why, and you're actually the perfect guy to talk to about it, why is lead-free never equal to lead?
It is because it's the material just works very differently. I mean, you have the soft material in lead, which obviously when it meets resistance, it starts, it wants to continue, and it starts, expanding, increasing the surface of so all the energy goes into the animal. So the only thing that you need with a lead-free, with a lead bullet, is actually resistance at a certain point. With a lead-free bullet, a monolithic lead-free bullet, you have just a piece of metal where you just have to open it up
very mechanically,
and mechanically it needs a lot of velocity. So when you shoot it down range, it will work the same up to a certain distance, and then it will become a little bit more trickier. So there will be, I think, from a shooter's standpoint, a little bit higher demand on the future hunters to understand, where to actually have a safe shot.
And this is the perfect transition to another content series that you've guys made. It's the dedicated lead-free content series, which we are going to show right now.
I am Mette Karen Petersen, a passionate hunter from Denmark. Denmark is moving towards becoming the first country in the world banning lead in hunting ammunition. It is a hot topic. That combined with my personal motivation, I started dedicated lead-free, with great support from Norma. I am not trying to convince you to be lead-free, but I'm trying to communicate a complex topic in a simple and educational way, so you have enough knowledge to choose whether you want to be dedicated lead-free.
Vi har ju köpt ett färdigt pulver.
Yeah.
Wind, the animal is standing still.
Yeah, today is actually my first time. So let's see. The bullet is more complex to make in the production. Is it down and yeah? And is that the tip?
Yes.
And here it doesn't explode the same way. See you in the next episode. I've used Ecostrike and Evostrike for years. Here. You can of course also put the back legs up first, but I find this one on fire, I would say like 4 or 5 minutes on each side, depending on how hot it is. But if you cook it at home, and I think it looks good. Fresh lime juice on top. 8-10 minutes like this. You can also crunch it a bit over.
Congratulations, what a cool format. I know lead-free is a topic that gets the industry going, but as I know you, there was more thought behind it. Why did you decide to do a dedicated lead-free series?
First of all, lead-free is a game changer in the whole industry. It's not about just picking a new bullet. And for that matter, as a manufacturer of bullets, I think we need to take responsibility and also sort of educating or passing on the knowledge how lead-free actually works. Because we know that there will be questions on all levels, from beginners to experienced hunters.
People start at zero somehow
Exactly.
Right?
And we know that there are questions, and we wanted to approach it through one of our great ambassadors, Mette, who's actually Danish, where they in the Nordics are starting out. It's serious business. It's really coming there. It's a fact already. So we wanted to approach it from the hunter standpoint. Not us asking the questions, but really the hunter and shooter.
So basically, you're taking key opinion leaders to educate and to give people a helping hand on the topic, right?
I think it's important for us to stay really, really close to the people who are actually using our products.
Yes. Yeah. Well, I can say that is your passion among driving the industry. But I was wondering if we could make the transition to something very new, I would say, because we were talking about, what is the most favorable bullet? What is the most famous bullet? What is the most sold bullet? We talked about Bondstrike, X-Strike, Oryx. Now about an entirely new bullet family, whitetail.
Yeah.
Go. What is it about whitetail that you guys thought needs to be done?
Yeah. So Norma going international, basically. We know that there's a big need for a bullet that just do the job, right? Just works.
Yes.
So whitetail started, as the name sounds, also started for the American market with American specific calibers. Now we release it in the rest of the world.
Oh, seriously?
And we also consolidate all our other soft point, unbonded soft point products into the same family. So from day one, you have a family of unbonded soft points with a wide variety of calibers and multiple bullet weights inside those, so that you can hunt anything out there on all markets. I think it's a very relevant product. I think that sort of the strive for sexiness in the business, trying to find the most functional high-tech product, we tend to forget sometimes the need for those products that just works. That people can buy. It's affordable.
That work, affordable, availability,
and accurate.
Speaking of accuracy, when we talked earlier, you said, well, Moritz, accuracy is number one, effect is number two.
Yeah.
What do you mean by that?
It's when it comes to ammunition, I believe, at least from my own experience, it's a lot about relying on the ammunition. And what do you rely on? I think accuracy is an important part. If you know that it will hit where you aim, then it's all up to me in the end.
Yes.
And that is fine. As a hunter, that is fine. But if you are a little bit unsure where it's going to hit, or it hits a little bit differently, or that's your perception of it, it's not going to be a very good experience.
I agree, and I actually meant to ask you this earlier in the show, but before we go into something very special that I want to keep talking about, will be the Norma Academy. But I was wondering, what do you like to hunt actually? Because, tell us. Come on, go on, tell us, make us jealous.
Exactly, I like to hunt nice calm weekends actually. No, but relaxing weekends. No, I started out. I got my hunting license in '95. I went out on my first moose hunt that same year. I shot 2 mooses.
Yes.
And after that, I was hooked.
Spoiled, other people might say.
I was hooked. I will never forget those 2 first. After that, not so many moose.
Yes, sir.
But I will never forget that. That will always stay with me. But on the other side, being Nordic hunting,
where moose are common animals,
and on the same grounds, a little bit, when the snow has hit the ground, we can go out hunting capercaillie, stuff like that. You're all by yourself. It's those kind of things where you get the opportunity to just be out all by yourself, no mobile phone.
It's okay, Jonas. Keep living my dream.
Exactly.
It's okay. Congratulations. So, we were watching a very special video from Norma Academy earlier on, and I want to dive more into this because we kind of touched content strategy already, educating people. Today, the entire show is basically somehow about also a digital aspect of the show, which is driven within the industry where you guys are the tip of the spear. You guys have a great content concept that needs to be in focus. It's the Norma Academy. What is the Norma Academy actually about?
This is one of our most beloved topics, to be honest.
I like it too. This is why I'm smiling.
Because, the analysis is very simple. As a bullet or ammunition manufacturer, we are not in 100% control of the customer experience.
It is true.
We put 120 years into making what we think is the perfect ammunition product. Then you load it into a weapon, and then, hello, we're off,
No more control.
No more control. If someone misses their targets, we don't know.
It's the ammunition's fault, of course.
Exactly. But it's also, we don't know. So, from our standpoint, as an ammunition manufacturer, we also need to, sit on a lot of knowledge, we sit on a lot of experience. If we pass that on in a nice, mostly digital environment, content, together with our really great ambassadors who are out there every day, we take the responsibility to sort of train the shooters, hunters out there.
Educate.
If we get better hunters, they will have a better experience together with our products.
So what you're saying is you're improving the hunting experience by, and we have to be careful to say this, improving the hunter also.
They usually know a lot, but it's also so we don't forget about just inspiring and also promoting a platform where you can engage with us also.
True.
because it's not so fun just calling up the factory if you have any issues, right? But being on YouTube or Instagram or looking at our videos, you can easily comment and have your own opinions about things, and you know, have us responding or other people from the community responding. So it's not all about that. You know, if we sit in the factory and then it's just a phone number in there,
and you're just a brand.
That's just a one-way communication.
So engaging with the end user, educating the end user, or rather reaching a helping hand, is the perfect transition for a video that I love about the Norma Academy. It's made from Stefan, I believe, who will also be on the show, I think...
Saturday.
I think Saturday, and I'm quite excited to talk to him, actually.
Yeah.
He did a shot analysis video, which is an incredible video showing everything that is relevant in terms of what you need to know about ballistics.
Yeah.
We are going to give you a direct insight into this video right now.
Hello my friends, my name is Stefan Foulon. Welcome to our new Norma Academy video. Today I will take you on a digital shot strike seminar. It's very important for me to say right at the beginning that the deer was killed in a car accident, and we decided to take this deer and do, well, our scientific project with it and show you the aftermath of different shot placements on deer and how you can determine them. The most important thing after you took a shot on a deer and the deer drops not inside is that you go and look for the point of impact or the point of strike. The point of strike is the point where the deer was standing while it took the shot. And this point will tell you everything you need to know about where your bullet actually hit the game. The bone fragments and the type of tissue you find at the point of strike have to determine your next actions. In this first episode of the Norma Strike Seminar, we will show you what to look for at the point of impact if you hit the front leg. Hitting a front leg is unfortunately pretty common among hunters worldwide due to several reasons. One reason could be that the shooter underestimated the distance between him and the animal, and therefore also underestimated the bullet drop. So instead of hitting the heart and lung area, the bullet drops too far and you just hit the front leg. Another common reason for a front leg impact could be that the shooter flinched right before pulling the trigger. This causes, usually flinching causes the barrel to drop a little bit, and therefore we get a lower point of impact. If you come to the striking point and you find tubular bone fragments that are round, tubular shape, or you find bone marrow, then this is a safe sign that you hit the front leg or the rear leg and you do not have a lethal hit. So for the front leg, we will aim at this part here, because it's very typical. You aim at the shoulder, try to hit the lung, but the bullet drops.
Be honest, how cool was that?
Really cool. I mean, Stefan, what can I say? He goes the extra mile, definitely. And that is what it's all about with Norma Academy. Just taking that sort of hunting situation and transferring that, you know, with all the hassle, obviously, transferring that and put it in your computer screen here, just to explain things that you will never get the chance to explain.
But what an
otherwise.
awesome concept to say, all right, that was roadkill already, so let's make educational use of it. It is, you said it perfectly, he's going the extra mile, and I want to use that as a transition to our next topic, which is going to be the Norma Ballistics app. What is this all about?
We know that the hunter and shooter today, more and more goes on into your mobile phone, right? So we need to put the ballistics into a mobile device, basically.
Simplifying the process, maybe?
Exactly. And it's, I mean, ballistics is a very, very tough science to grasp. I think for the normal hunter shooter, we're not targeting the professional long-range
enthusiast who knows everything, has special equipment for everything.
Exactly. Who feels sort of the drag of the Earth's rotation in the hair, stuff.
Nice.
It's we try to simplify it a little bit. We know that, but we take the most important parts, stuff it into a mobile device, and that just helps people to get their first shot on target when they're sitting on the range, zeroing their gun, preparing for their hunt. Yeah, just getting acquainted to their weapons.
At the same time, of course, staying true to the drive of the Norma brand, educating also in long-range ballistics. Of course, taking away some pressure, I believe. Yeah. Simplifying the process, but also, well, if you use it, you're bound to learn something.
I think so, because traditionally we had the information of a bullet drop is printed on a package, or this is how everyone does it in the industry. Printed on a package, or on, you get a graph. Problem is, as we talked about earlier, that graph is built on a 60 centimeter barrel with a certain velocity in an environment which is optimal for ammunition.
But the one person using it might have a totally different setup.
Exactly. Different setup on the range where it's blowing, strong headwind, it's raining, they shorten the barrel, etc., etc. And you need to adapt that, and you need to understand that as a hunter and shooter.
So the Norma Ballistic app is available by download, I believe?
Yeah, Google Play and App Store.
Google Play and App Store, and it takes away, it educates and takes away some of the pressure while helping ballistics, which is I must say, which is a topic I'm very interested in. Yeah. I'm afraid it's very time consuming, so I'm probably with 99 of the people who think, well, it's interesting, but I fear it's too complicated for me.
I know. I mean,
I'm your target group.
Exactly. Me too, because I myself, when I take one of those really complicated apps with a bad UX and
I'm
stuff,
no.
and you feel stupid. You don't want to feel stupid, right? You want to get the results, and you want to understand what really sort of drives a certain result.
Exactly, and I want to see results also, because results motivate me. Yeah. Talking about results, we are now transitioning into a also a very special field. Yeah. We are talking about range and training portfolio, something very new to the Norma brand. Please, what is this all about?
It's very new because obviously, I mean, the range person today is a target group which is growing. Obviously, it is already a very big target group in the US. That's where the range training started. But it's everywhere. I mean, people are shooting for fun. They are competing for fun. Dynamic shooting, IPSC, etc., are all applications of shooting that is growing really, really fast. So we obviously want to be there too, given what we do. We took pistol and revolver, we took CFR, semi-automatic, FMJs, load them up into cartridge with low recoil, high accuracy, nice, but affordable again, and sell it as a range and training family, which is, as we said, range and training.
Would you say that the trends used to be, well, I'm a hunter and I'm hunting, and I'm a sport shooter, I'm a sport shooter. It used to be, I don't know what your impression of it is, that it used to be kind of divided. Now I have the feeling that hunters also like the shooting on the range, and people who are shooting on the range, they're also interested in hunting. Would you say that is a healthy trend in the industry?
I think that's very true. I mean, hunting is the easiest one. It's very seasonal, obviously.
Yes, sir.
When the season is out, you put your gun in the locker and then you don't touch it for another 6 months. But now they want to do something else, right? Also, I think the growth of shooting cinemas, indoor shooting, etc., makes it easier for people. So they want to have affordable ammunition. They can shoot in volumes, on targets. It's more fun, it's more action-filled, etc. And also the IPSC is something that is definitely growing as a
It is
competition
growing.
port.
It is
Yeah.
even growing in Europe, actually.
Exactly, yeah.
Jonas, I feel I could talk to you for another hour, but we've already spent an hour, and we already got the next brand lined up. Thank you so much for such a great talk. Thank you so much for your time.
Thank you.
Jonas from Norma, giving us a 360-degree insight into the Norma universe here at Share the Passion, live from EVA 2023 at the RWF booth. Stay tuned for Steiner and Burris coming up next.